Hi everyone, this is Crafty Decoria. I hope you're all doing great. So today is another lamp DIY, only this time I will be doing it in the farmhouse decor style. So I will go through the list of supplies of things that you will need to make this lamp, and then we will jump into the tutorial. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so to begin with our Rooster DIY lamp, we are going to be gluing our glass pieces together with our E6000 glue. But even before we begin gluing our glass pieces, I need to take my glass plate outside along with my Rust-Oleum 2-time Ultra Cover paint and primer, which I have in flat black. I need to take them outside and give the one side of the plate, which is the right side facing up, I'm going to be spraying that with the paint and primer. I will not be spraying the back, since when we begin constructing our lamp, I will be turning the plate over so that the back is facing out, and being that it is glass, the paint will come through from the inside of the plate. So I'll only be spraying the inside of the plate, or the right side up part of the plate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Once that is dry, I'll give that about 2 to 3 coats. Once that is dry, I will bring it back in and we will begin constructing the base of our lamp. Okay, so as you can see, I have sprayed the inside of my plate. And I actually gave it about 2 coats, and that seemed to work really good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start constructing our lamp. So we have the 3 glass vases and then our smaller glass candle holder. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our first glass vase, and we are going to have the open mouth side, the open part of the vase, and we're going to turn it upside down. Now I already went ahead and applied some E6000 glue, and I'm just going to place that on. Now one thing I would like to mention, if you want to skip this step, Dollar Tree does have a really nice black plate that they sell in their where they have their cups and their dishes. So if you wanted to skip this step and just purchase a plate, that would work fine. But I already had this plate on hand, and I actually really like the raised glass in this plate, so this was the one that I wanted to use. So I am going to let that dry for at least around 10 minutes, just so that it sits really well to the glass plate, and then I'm going to apply my second vase on top of this one. Okay, so now we are going to put our second vase on top of our first one. So again, I just went ahead and I added some E6000 glue. Now normally I would also add some hot glue. I didn't do that with the bottom, but normally I do, just so that I get a real I get a bit of a quick bond with the hot glue, just so that it keeps it in place, and then over the drying time, the E6000 glue will bond. So now I take my second vase, and with the bottom facing down, right over top of the other bottom, I just place that right on top. Again, I will wait around 10 minutes, and then I will go ahead and add my small glass candle holder to the top of our second vase. Okay, so now we are going to add our glass candle holder to the top of the second glass cylinder vase. Now I went ahead and applied some E6000 glue on the bottom, and then I also applied a little bit around the rim of the cylinder vase. Now again, I'm just going to add just a couple dots of hot glue so that it will get a quicker bond, and that it'll kind of just keep it in place until the E6000 glue bonds really well. So now I'm just going to turn it over and place it on the top. Now don't worry about any glue that may run down. I mean, you can clean the outside of it, but you don't have to worry about how it looks on the inside, because this bottom part of the glass will be covered up. So if you want to go along with a cloth or a wet wipe, or just along the outside, so that when we do cover it, it lays fairly flat, because we will be putting our placemat around that, so we don't really want any bumps. So just clean around the outside, but don't worry if it looks messy or anything like that, because as I said, it will be covered by the placemat and some jute twine. So now this last glass cylinder vase is going to be glued to the inside of our black basket. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that inside, and then we will let everything dry overnight so that it gets a really good bond from the E6000 glue and to the glass. Okay, so now we are going to glue our last cylinder vase, and this is going to be glued to the inside of our black wire basket. So I already went ahead and applied some E6000 glue to the bottom of the vase, and I'm just going to add again a little bit of hot glue. And then, as best as I can, I'm just going to center it inside of the basket, and I'm going to press down firmly. Now I put a old piece of cloth underneath the basket to catch any glue that might drip. So that would be a good idea to do that as well. And then what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put some weight inside of the vase just because these wire baskets, some of them are better than others, but they don't sit flat. They have a little bit of spring into the bottom of the basket, so it does not sit flat. So I'm just going to apply some weight to the inside of this so that we get a really good bond between the glass and the wire basket. Okay, and so as my weight, I used some stones. I just placed them inside of the vase, and I will leave this to dry overnight. And with those stones in there, it gives a nice weight to the glass so that it will get a really nice bond with the wire basket. Okay, so now our glass vase, or vase, cylinder vase, has dried inside the inside of our basket. And I'm just showing you here, I already went ahead and did it, but once that was dry, I went ahead and took some more E6000 glue and some more hot glue, and with my glue gun I just applied that on just to make sure that this vase is stuck into this basket and it's not going to move. Now you don't have to worry about the glue because we will be covering this up so you won't see it. Okay, so now we are going to be working on the base of our lamp. What we are going to do is take our Rooster placemat. Now, what I'm going to do with the placemat, it's up to you. You can completely use the whole placemat and wrap it around and just overlap it, or you can cut some of the placemat off so that you don't have so much overlapping. Now you could cut it, you know, so it fits perfectly and there is no overlapping, but I will be overlapping mine just a little bit. So what I did was I went ahead and I took my ruler, and what I did was I just placed my placemat up against the base and I measured that. And or you don't have to measure it, really you can just measure from the top of the placemat to the edge of your cylinder vase. My number was 7, so then I just cut that in half, which would have been 3.5, and then I just measured from the top 3.5 down, and I did the exact same thing at the base. So from the base I measured 3.5 up. This way I will be centering my placemat, and then I will be wrapping above and below the placemat with some jute twine just to give it a nicer finish. So what I did with my placemat is I decided to cut it off right where this black design is. So I just took my ruler, took my X-Acto knife, just made a very simple cut, and it's very easy to cut through the placemat, and I ended up getting this. So now, as I said, there still will be some overlapping, but it won't be as much, and I know that when it finishes, it's going to finish right after this black design, so that when I put it around, I will put this side of the placemat on the inside, and then I will overlap so that that black design is showing like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take my E6000 glue and my hot glue gun. I'm just going to apply the E6000 glue on the back of the placemat, and then I will apply a bead of glue, a line all the way down the one side. Probably, yeah, I'll start it, I'll apply it here, and then I will put it in place where I want it, hold it there until that glue dries, and then I will continue wrapping it until it overlaps. and then we will let that dry.